Morning, everybody. It is fabulous Friday, June 17th. Can you believe it? Let me put on my earphones and we'll get started right away. Wow, the time has changed, hasn't it? The market has changed. We have 45 days of inventory. I haven't seen that in a long time. Just 2 months ago, we were like 15, 18 days. So things have rapidly changed, and we're finding that 5,698 homes in our available zip codes around Vegas. That doesn't include Pahrump, that doesn't include Boulder City, and it doesn't include Mesquite. So just North Las Vegas, Henderson, and the greater Las Vegas city and in Clark County. But again, not all of Clark County. Anyway, we have listed 229 homes. When have you seen that? 229 homes, and 70 of those were 485,000 or under. Yay, that's fantastic. So now we have 1,415 homes under 485 and under. So that's fantastic. You put 67 under contract yesterday. You closed 76. And that for the month of June means we are closing 110 homes a day, compared to our annualized rate this year of 124. So how we get to the 45 days is we divide the 5,698 by the 124 for the homes. Let's see. Yeah, but not sure what that is. There's Karen. Oh my goodness, Karen. Thank you so much. I missed you. I'm sure it's been a ride, huh? It's been a ride. And we're in for some different times, to say it optimistically. I just want to talk a little bit today about if you're an Agent Formula member. Got this new little widget here. It's kind of fun. Anyway, if you're an Agent Formula member, your database received an email yesterday, and it talked about the instant reaction to rate increases. That was one of the topics. It also, oops, not that one. Hang on. It also talked about, go back here and find it. We talked about this important topic, which was the experts in the real estate industry, what they have to say. And they use a number when they talk about what's happening with home prices. Let's get rid of this little guy. There we go. So what they're saying when they talk about home prices, and some of the words sound a bit similar, but they mean very different things. To help clarify what's happening with home prices and where experts say they're going, here's a look at a few terms. And it's important that you know what these mean. Of course, appreciation means home prices rise, they increase. Depreciation is when home prices decrease. Deceleration, which is what the economists are predicting, is when the home prices continue to appreciate, but at a slower rate. And that is what we're probably going to see. For starters, you probably heard home prices have skyrocketed over the past 2 years. Now, we're talking to the consumers. This is what went out in the email. And it says homes were actually appreciating long before that. And you might be surprised to learn that home prices have climbed for 122 consecutive months. Isn't that amazing? The houses have gained value consistently over the past 10 consecutive years. But since 2020, the increase has been more dramatic as home prices and their growth accelerated. So why did home prices climb so much? Well, it's because there were more buyers than there were homes for sale. Let's move this over here for a second. And see if I can't. Nope. Come on. See if I can move that over there. Doesn't ever want to move for me. It works now. Hang on, everybody. Hang on. Okay, there we go. That's what I want. I want to talk that way. Anyway, so why did they climb so much? Well, it's because there were more buyers than there were homes for sale. And that imbalance put upward pressure on home prices because demand was much higher than the supply. And the supply was very low, as you know. And a lot of that is many reasons. I mean, the millennials coming into the market made the demand higher. The supply was lower because people tended not to move. I mean, it used to be in the 90s, people moved every 5 to 7 years, but now it's 5 to 15 years. So what that means is not as many homes go up for sale. And then also the builders, you know, they were having supply issues. They were having labor increases. The pandemic put a dent in their progress. So the experts say that home prices say where home prices are expected to go. And I'm going to read this. While this is helpful context, if you're a buyer or a seller in today's market, you probably want to know what's going to happen with home prices moving forward. Will they continue that same growth path, or will the prices fall? Well, as the growth, there's a chart that went along with the email. So as the graph shows, houses have gained value, and the experts are forecasting ongoing appreciation just at a decelerated at a pace, meaning that the prices are going to continue to increase. However, not as quickly. And again, we said earlier, since 2020, they went crazy. They went up crazy fast. So they're going to keep climbing, but not as fast. And none are calling for prices to fall. None of the economists at this point are calling for prices to fall. Mark Fleming, who is the chief economist at First American Title, identifies a key reason why home prices won't depreciate or drop. And this is important because you need to be able to, we've sent this out to your database, but if you're not an Agent Formula member, you can always go on one of our sites and look this up so you can recant it. It says, or he said, in today's housing market, demand for homes continues to outpace supply, which is keeping the pressure on house prices. So don't expect house prices to decline. And I don't know if you've heard me say in class or on the air that I kind of think if we're going to have a correction, let's see if my chart's here, if I can find it. I might have put it down. I can't have too many things open or this thing goes wonky. Okay, let me put that down. There it is. There's my chart. There's my chart. So if you look here, at the end of 2021, the price was $365 median. But then in 2022, it started out at $425 and now it's up to $485. That's a $60,000 increase. So in my prayers to the real estate God, I am saying, if we're going to correct, let's not correct below $425. Now, this may not happen based on what Mark Fleming, the chief economist of First American, is saying. He goes on to say, although housing supply is starting to tick up, which we just saw an increase. We doubled, almost tripled our days on the market, our days of inventory. And it's not enough to make home prices decline because there's still a gap between the number of homes available for sale and the volume of buyers looking to make a purchase. Now, he's not in Las Vegas. And one of the things we know in Las Vegas is that we have had, across the United States, they've had the multiple offer situation and people offering more and so on and so forth. But when there's more homes to choose from, you might not have that. So that's partially why the home prices will decelerate as far as they'll go up, but not as fast. So Terry Loebs, founder of a research firm called Pulsenomics, and a lot of the real estate economists use his what he has to say. And he says most real estate experts and economists anticipate that homes will continue rising. And again, I'm not so sure about that in Las Vegas. And as this is his quote, he says, with home values at record high levels and a vast majority of experts projecting additional price increases this year and beyond, home prices and expectations remain buoyant. So the bottom line is that the experts forecast price deceleration, not depreciation. That means home prices will continue to rise, but at a slower pace. How many times do we have to say that? Let's connect so you can get the full picture of what's happening with home prices in our local market and to discuss your buying and selling goals. And that was the one blog that went out. And it was very, in my opinion, very soft, very mild. And I'm not sure I totally agree, and a part of why I don't totally agree is the mortgage rates. I think that the mortgage rates are going to lessen the demand because it's going to lessen the number of people who are qualified to buy a home. And to me, that seems logical. I think it was NAR that put out this little blog, and we paraphrased it and we said instant reaction to rate increase. Mortgage rates resumed their upward trek after falling for the last 3 weeks, and this was, in May. According to Freddie Mac, the 30-year fixed mortgage rate rose to 5.23 from 5.09 the previous week, ahead of May's inflation reading. What investors are concerned about inflation and the impact of the upcoming half percentage point rate hike from the Federal Reserve next week, which is this week. Nonetheless, the upcoming rate hike will likely have a similar impact on mortgage rates this time. Mortgage rates will continue to rise in 2022. Don't expect to see the same sharp increases that the market experienced in March and April. Mortgage rates will likely average 5.6 to 5.7 by late 2022. And then we had the Federal Reserve come out, right? And this was also, see if I have that picture. I may not have that one. Let's see if I can let's hide this little guy. And yeah, this was the, I don't think I have the one I want to show you. Anyway, I'm sure you've seen this. And this is Jimmy Dagg's website on his blog page, the Las Vegas Market Watch. And what we did is we embedded what Jerome Powell's speech was about. It's about an 8-minute clip of the speech. And because he coughed a lot and wasn't, to me, he really wasn't that clear. So what we did is we allowed you, if you're not an Agent Formula member, or if you are, and your database got this, they can download the transcript and read it. I think it's easier to read than to listen to him. And that's just my opinion, but perhaps others share it. Anyway, he hiked it by 0.75%. And the Federal Reserve is, of course, the central bank in the United States. It performs 5 general functions to promote the effective operation of the U.S. economy and more generally the public interest. The Federal Reserve conducts the nation's monetary policy to promote maximum employment, stable prices, and moderate long-term interest rates in the U.S. economy, promoting the stability of the financial system and seeking to minimize and contain systemic risk through active monitoring engagement in the United States and abroad, promoting the safety and soundness of individual financial institutions and monitoring their impact on the financial system as a whole. It fosters payment and settlement safety systems and efficiencies through services to the banking industry and the U.S. government that facilitate the U.S. dollar transactions and payments, and promotes consumer protection and community development through consumer-focused supervision and examination. This is all one sentence, by the way, that he's saying. So it's pretty wordy, but basically he's saying they do the rate hikes to protect what we're having with the inflation. And anyway, it's if you do not have an Agent Formula website, you can get all these blogs. You can go to the jimmydegg.com. Jimmy is one of our proud members, and you can copy and paste and maybe even sign up to get these blogs that we put out. Now, we also put out daily blogs, but we don't send those to your database. We only send the market watches to your database. And when we do, they get the recent Las Vegas market watch, plus they get the 2 previous daily ones. So they actually get three different items to read, because different things appeal to different people. Well, yeah, so that's what's going on. And on Monday, you know that Lawrence Young, who is the chief economist at NAR, is teaming up with our dear friend Brian Buffini, and they are giving. Let me get rid of this. See if I can find some more information here. Anyway, they're going to team up, and they're going to do the bold predictions that Buffini does twice a year. I think this is going to be very interesting. Buffini basically said in his podcast Tuesday that he really believes we're already in a recession. And I tend to think that we are too when I go to the grocery store. Yeah, Karen, I know. I'm looking forward. Karen is a big Buffini like I am. And the research that he does, and Dr. Young being right there on the scene at NAR, knows what's happening in the real estate industry. And I am very, very interested in that. And it's going to be, well, we will replay it on our group so that you can just go there and get it. Anyway, so, you know, you hear me say this all the time, right? I really believe what Grant Cardone says. He says, get your money mindset right. And I think, and Karen, I know you'll agree with me, there has never been a more important time for you all to be communicating with your database and hopefully your farm, which includes your past clients and perhaps some leads that you're nurturing, so that you don't fall behind with this change in the market. Sales will slow down. They've slowed down already in June. We're selling 110 homes a day, even though from year to date it's 124. We do see it declining. So when the sales go down, there's not as many commissions paid and not as many people moving. It'll be interesting to see what happens with California, of course. They continue to be the number one group of people who move here. And that hasn't slowed down according to the Department of Motor Vehicles. But you need to start following up. And what Grant says that I am going to recite is that all the money is in the follow-up. 25% make one call and quit. 48% never make 2 calls. Most never make the first call, and most sales, however, are made after the 11th contact. So, I was listening, and I think I said this on Wednesday when I listened to a team builder that was interviewed by Tom Ferry. And he said, in the first month when we hire a new team member, they need to make 2,000 phone calls, contacts, connections, not just the phone calls, but you need 2,000 connections. And then they need to watch 190. They have short videos of, how you fill out a contract, how you fill out a listing contract, how you do an inspection, so on and so forth, what the timeline is, what the journey is for the buyer, what the journey is for the seller. And they've made short video clips, and any new team members have to watch all of those, plus make the 2,000 connections. And one of the things Grant Cardone says is mixed martial selling. Well, what does that mean? Well, you have to do it all. You have to do the internet. You have to do social media. You have to do video. And you have to do the phoning and the texting. You have to do personal visits. Buffini calls those pop buys. And you have to be in constant contact with your past clients for referrals. 72% of agents that take people out never write up a deal. They never write the contract. So if that's something that you're having issues with, you possibly want to take some training classes from Brian Buffini and or Tom Ferry, because they will help you get your sales strategy together. There is strategy to selling. There's tactics and strategies, and you have to figure out what works for you. And you have to remember to listen and ask the right questions, because that puts you in control. The person asking the questions is the person in control. And then how good are your questions? So those are some things that you have to remember. And then training, something dear to me and Jimmy, is training. If you think you can't get better, if you quit learning a long time ago, you're done. If you do not train and learn, you're done. You might as well get out of the business now. If you want to win, you have to train, learn, and listen more. Again, back to you have to ask the right questions. So things are changing, right? And they change like the snap of your fingers. We've just seen that. We've been talking about it, and now all of a sudden it's happened. It's here. So number 3 is work every angle. And that's what I said, mixed martial selling. You need to start writing personal notes, texting people, text a little video, say, hey, Karen, how you doing? Just checking in on you, see if you are interested in knowing what's going on in the market. Give me a call, something like that, something engaging, something that possibly has you come back to them. And it's this business is not easy, and that's why Jimmy and I do so much training. And today, from 1 to 4, we're talking about the buyer brokerage agreement. And as I've said to you, this may never be as important as it is now, because everybody, you need to have loyal people, because it may take them longer now to find a home. Well, there's more on the market, so they may have a nicer journey. Jimmy and I always say that buyers want easy and keys. Sellers want easy, and they want their house sold. They want their money. So you have to, if you're taking out buyers, that buyer brokerage agreement is so important, so that they're loyal to you, and that's critical. The skill in presenting the buyer broker agreement, Jimmy reviews. There's reasons clients want to sign it. And, the division really says that they don't make it a law. It's a guideline that you have one. So anyway, it's going to be a great class. Driggs Title is bringing lunch and beverages. I think they're even going to have some wine with their lunch today, because it's in the mid-afternoon on a Friday. So hopefully you'll all join us. And the more you learn, the more you're going to earn. And we always say that. And Jimmy, if he were here, he'd say, learn and laugh with me and Ruthie. We try to have a really good time. So join us today. Where's my little widget, that little widget that we had? Yes, follow us, subscribe. We're really looking forward to everybody joining us. And we have a law class on Monday. So let's look at that real quick. Really, 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 where'd you go? I don't know why this thing is like this. I don't know, right? What do I know? Let's see, let me go get it. Bear with me just a minute, I'll go get it. I had it, it went away. We'll bring it back, yeah. Nothing's perfect. Here we go. So today is contracts, and let's see, put me down here. And on Monday, we have law. The Attorney General is on the line. This is, a new class that Jimmy and I put together. So it doesn't review the old laws. It talks about being compliant and following the laws. So that's important. And then on the 23rd, which is next Thursday, we're having the broker management pay or pay attention. And that's for agents as well as brokers. And it's a general class, and it's really filled with information that will help you navigate through the next several months as this market becomes a little bumpy. And then on the following Monday, we're going to have Cap Rate. Do you speak investor? Great class. Investors really haven't slowed down in the market, and I think they're going to probably, the investor market is going to continue to be healthy. They're buying about 43 homes a day. And they, of course, they see the advantages in the cash flow, in the return on their investment, because the rents are increasing. We don't see that happening, that going away. Rents are going to continue to increase, probably, maybe another 5% this year even. And then we have risk reduction on the 30th, which is a required class. So we have two general. Oh, broker management, I think, is a core class. I don't think that's, I think I'm wrong there. I have to double check that. I forgot. Anyway, we've had lots of classes this month. We're going to continue to have a class every week. And occasionally we have two a week, like we do next week and the following week. So please go to be.vegas and sign up. We'd love to educate you, because like I said, when you learn more, you earn more. I love you all. Have a fabulous weekend. And please comment, get your friends to follow us. We always give you good information in the group. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe and hit the bell for the notifications so that you know when I'm live. I've changed my schedule. I am now doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, giving myself a Tuesday, Thursday break so I can do some more research and bring you more valuable information. I love you all. Again, have a great weekend. Hope to see you in class today. 1 to 4, 84.